All right, I'm just going to talk about wiring for a couple minutes here. Uh, you've got a lot of things people mistake, and I've worked with guys that make this mistake a lot is grounds. The majority of problems you find have to do with grounds, bad grounds. Uh, they just do bad. Bad regulators are grounded poorly. Lighting, especially. So it's one of the first things you want to check. You got a light or something, keep frying regulators. You probably have, since the regulator grounds through the body of the regulator, you need to make sure that thing's got a really good ground on it. You can add a ground by running a wire from the regulator body directly to a battery negative ground or back to a good ground on the body somewhere. Typically, you'd want to sand, paint, or powder coat off and use a couple of star washers on the bolt so it really digs into the frame there, or you can hook it directly to the battery. The other thing is I've had a lot of times people hook up lights, accessory lizard lights or whatever, kind of ground effect lights. I had a guy come in the shop years ago, probably 10 years ago maybe, had a ZX14, nice bike, newer. It was a good looking bike, rode good, looked good, all that. He asked about putting some lights on there, and I quoted him a price, and I want to say it was like $60 or $70 to put the lights on, and evidently that was too much for him. So he had a friend of his do it. Well, about a week later, he brings his bike back in, and it won't start. So I go and do diagnostic on it, and everything. No fuel pump when you turn it on. The immobilizer system was no start, no nothing. Just, the lights on the dash would come on, and that's about it. But what his friend had done, when he hooked the lights up, he hooked into a J1850 bus line that runs between the ECM and the immobilizer unit, immobilizer alarm system, whatever you want to call it. And it fried both of them. So I had to call Kawasaki dealer and got with them. So he had to buy the immobilizer and the ECM together because they come as a unit from Kawasaki. And it wasn't cheap for the both of them. I want to say it was $2,500, something like that. So all told, doing this thing, just say it cost them $2,700 to put lights on his bike, just to get his bike running. So you just need to be careful where you're hooking into. It's fairly easy to fry something on these things. Two, I did want to mention this. Your grounds, there's a reason why you disconnect grounds first. And it's not just because you'll fry stuff if you arc the positive. The reason they ground through switches is instead of having a power interrupt is power is still on. It tends to generate a lot of heat when you separate it from two posts. If you've ever had a loose battery cable or you pull a battery cable out and the post is melted on it, it's usually positive, and it's because it was loose. Just remember, as resistance goes up, heat goes up. So get your test light and a good meter. Meters are cheap now. Test lights are really cheap. So you can actually test. Now, if you got especially you're doing something like your battery keeps going dead on your bike and your charging system is fine, you need to check the milliamp draw with everything off. And depending on what kind of bike it is, it should have, some of them will be less than 5 milliamps, some of them will be less than 1 milliamp. Depends on the manufacturer. So you can have, a lot of times if you got a power diode in the regulator, if that thing's fried, it'll backfeed directly out of the battery through the regulator to ground, and it drain the battery in a hurry. So that's fairly easy to check there. You're basically going to disconnect the regulator wire and see if you're getting power through it when everything's off, because it'll drain it in a hurry. So wiring, get yourself a good set of strippers. I use these here because they work really good for me. They do a nice job. You can set them. You can set the end of it so you're not stripping off too much wire. So it's adjustable right here. That's about perfect. If you want it shorter, you can just push it in a little bit more. Or if you want it longer, just pull it out. And good crimpers. And I'm not going to go into crimpers on this. Well, maybe I will a little bit. Well, I won't, because I don't have any connectors out here with me. I didn't plan this video out really well. So good set of crimpers. These are not the best in the world. They're like for, you see these right in here? These are for like regular cheapo connectors that you buy in the store. The other kind have the little indents on them where you can actually get a perfect crimp. I'll probably do a video on that in the future because it's kind of important, and you see people really mess them up because they're using the wrong pliers to crimp with. So I'll do a video of that in the future. But anyway, that's really about it. I'm not going to get into anything else here except for pay attention to wiring. I guess it was wiring day today. I was testing relays and testing coils and going over other stuff, but really that's it. I'm not a big blah 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 kind of guy, so a lot more laid out than that. So, that being said, I do like to do burnouts and ride really fast. Usually exceeding the speed limit in turns and straight. So I like to have fun like that. Other than being all in your face and screaming and jumping up and down, nah, that ain't me. So if you're still watching, I appreciate it. Appreciate new subscribers, old subscribers, any viewers watching. Really appreciate it. And I guess I forgot it's Memorial Day weekend coming up here this weekend. So too late for me to get tags and insurance on the bike now. Well, I guess I could go tomorrow, but I'd have to get it inspected. So I'm in no hurry for that. So we'll just have to wait. I got other stuff to do around here anyway. Anyway, you guys take care. Have a great Memorial Day weekend. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to, hit the subscriber thing and, drop me a like or a comment or whatever. I'd appreciate it. Everybody have a good weekend. Thank you.